Hi, my name is Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stone Man, and I'm releasing a video to you today on how to open a spiritual gift of clairaudience, and I think it's time. I really feel like there should be more people who work with angels in this world, and I feel like it's really time for people to start opening and activating their gifts. And this is a really easy gift to open, but not many people know how. And I feel like it's very important for people to be able to do this, and you'll only be able to do this with angels and to angels because the way clairaudience work with spirits is completely different. So you do have to take into account that angels and spirits are completely separate. So angels are on a very high frequency. Spirits are on a lower frequency than angels, of course. Think about it like this. We're on earth, hell, earth, heaven, in between gaps between heaven and hell and earth, and just the astral plane. So if you ever pay attention, people who are extremely low vibration and work with demons, they have their gifts open relatively quickly, but only to a certain capacity, just because between heaven and hell, or just the in-between that, which is the astral plane, that person's already on a low vibration or operates on a vibration that's earthly, and it's pretty easy to communicate with the demon. It's just easy. Now, and plus demons they like energy. There's many different kind of demons and many different kind of angels. I highly suggest you guys don't work with demons if you don't like having your energy constantly being used and vacuumed, even on a slow amount. That's why you see in like certain let me not use any singers as examples, but some stuff happens at concerts and you wonder why it happens. It's just an energy farm. It's literally the singers on stage and people are falling over and stuff like that because it's just energy. It's just energy being pulled and vacuumed, and sometimes the lower level entities take too much. That's why when you'll see a lot of people who work with demons, they'll be able to get ahead in certain departments, but yeah, it's just a slow energy drain, and all readings will get messed with too at that point. But when it comes to working with angels don't play about that. Angels have much more strength and much more energy than demons or lower level entities or spirits who are low vibration as well. One thing I do see is people will want to sell their souls and stuff like that. I'm not going to teach anything about that, especially on my YouTube channel. But when it comes to that, once you sell your soul, it's not yours anymore. You're just property. Don't take it personal. You're property. But yeah, when it comes to working with angels, this method is very specific to working with angels, and you must be in a high vibration or this is just not going to happen. Like, it's just not going to happen. You're not going to... And another thing, too, is for the people who want to work with angels and the people who want to work with demons, you can't work with both. You can work with a demon, and then you can work with an angel that used to be a demon. I mean, used to be an angel. But keep in mind, I just said used to be an angel. So it's a fallen angel pretending to be an angel. Happens a lot. If you ever want to find out if it's an angel or if it's a demon, find out its intention. Ask it about God. Talk to the angel about God. And angels will only give very specific answers. Angels will never be gossipy. They won't be like... That's why people who are on TikTok doing random reading lives and just reading random people in their entire lives and just people they don't even know what they look like. They're just reading everything about them. They usually have a guardian demon nearby just reading that person, and that person's going to be tired for the next 3 or 4 days and not even know why. It's because it was energy. Everything's energy. Angels don't need your energy. They don't. They absolutely don't. They're on a plane of existence that's so high in energy that it's actually kind of tough for them to kind of lower themselves to be able to talk to you. Now this video, because I do train angelologists and people who work with angels, like I said, if you have any dark intentions, you're not going to be where you want to be. So this video is going to be very straight to the point. And like I said, it's freakishly easy. It's more about consistency and time and just being consistent and being a good person. And most importantly, you're not going to be able to talk to angels if you don't have a close connection with God. If you don't move yourself closer to God, and even at this, when you do the exercises I'm going to teach you, it's still in God's timing. When he's ready to let you hear your angels, he's going to open it up. When he feels like it's right for you, when he feels like you're at the right point in your life, because God knows all timing. And people in the spiritual community really try to go around God and having their gifts opened. That's foolish. It's foolish. Certain lower level entities, lower level demons will be like, well, you know you are God, right? You know you have a piece of God in you. And this is the biggest red flag, because anytime an angel says that, it's just an angel in disguise pretending, it's a demon pretending to be an angel. And you better know intention. Like, you better know, hey, something's up, something's kind of off, something doesn't feel right, etc. Because if you walk with that, it's your ego leading you astray. The Bible does talk heavily about this. It's your pride, it's your ego, it's your hubris, it's cockiness, it's you being full of yourself, etc. Now, like I said, in order to talk to angels, you must have very pure intentions. Clean your atmosphere. Surround yourself with black tourmaline, angelite, and celestine. Keep a pure environment. Seraphonite is a crystal I'll be suggesting to people more often now, but I don't want people even thinking that they can work with seraphims. You can't. They lay up in the firmament, and anything that presents itself to you as a seraphim is actually a lower level or medium level fallen angel, and it's looking for energy. Because why are you down here when your job's up there? And you have to pay attention to what certain beings will say once you're able to hear them. Yeah, so let's get into this. So when you're talking to your angel, and I made other videos talking about talking to angels, this is really, really, really easy, but most people won't be able to do this because some people will watch this video and be like, well, I work with angels and demons, and I work with Jinn, and I work with tonic. I'm like, Jinn and tonic? Well, I just gave you guys a drink. I don't know what, I don't know why I said tonic. Too many ads on TikTok. But, when it came, nice examples, Stone Man. I have to write down examples. I've been talking to you guys about this. Like, oh, Stone Man's examples are very interesting. But when it comes to working with angels, like I said, it takes consistency. It takes time. It's pretty easy. So let's get straight into it. When you're opening your clairaudience, 1, surround your entire environment with angelite, celestine. You can do black tourmaline. You can also do onyx if it's good onyx. I've made videos about that. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back in the videos. Seraphonite's wonderful too, because Seraphonite is like onyx, but it has an angelic element, and it literally is infused with energies that absolutely protect you. And it's there's actual feathers in the stone, and it just forces the vibrations upward in the environment and keep away things you don't want near you. Now, as you're meditating, as you're focusing on your intention to open your clairaudience, and like I said, there's subjective, I haven't said that in this video, I've said it in other videos, there's subjective clairaudience, and there's objective clairaudience. There's a clairaudience in your head, which certain guys will talk in your head, and some of them talk super, super loud. Like, spirits are able to talk in people's heads a lot more than people think, but people don't recognize it, and it's usually bad thoughts. So you'll be in, let's just say you're hanging around someone who has bad thoughts very often. You hang around them, and now you start having bad thoughts too. It's like, where'd these bad thoughts come from? It's like, oh, this person has a spirit literally sending them telepathic messages in their heads. And I confuse subjective and objective very often. I'm gonna have to make new words for it, because I will be saying one word and the other word just fully comes out. I'm like, ah! Like, okay, so objective. You're the object. You're the object. Okay. You know what? I'm actually changing the words in this video. So there's inner clairaudience, because this is gonna subjective and objective really confuse people, and it confuses me too, because I'll be hopping words like objective, subjective. I'm like, God, I switched the meaning of the word. So let's just say inner clairaudience is in your head. That's so much easier. I don't know why I didn't even come up with that on the previous few videos I was talking about. Inner clairaudience is in your head. The goal is to sharpen your outer clairaudience, because it's less in between the bridges of worlds. So, and the bridges of realms. So, the clairaudience with your ears. And keep in mind, every day you'll have a different fluctuation in your clairaudience until it's extremely sharpened. Now listen in meditation after you talk to God, after you do your prayers, after you secure your environment, after you do your spiritual bathing, after you do your spiritual hygiene, after you spiritually cleanse your sheets and your clothes and etc. Because you really want to be as clean as possible when doing this, because, and literally talk to God and be like, God, please surround my environment so nothing is able to talk to me besides my guardian angel and other angels. Like, not even ancestors, because ancestors can present themselves to you. And you can talk to the ancestor, but even if you switch vibration for a second, like you come back to the next day at the same spot and you go to talk to your ancestor, but you've had a kind of a funky day, or you picked up an attachment, the attachment's pretending to be your ancestor for those next 2 days, and then you talk to your ancestor again, you notice something's changed, and you're not really sure what happened, but you gotta... Charlatans happen very often. It's basically a spirit that swaps itself out with your ancestor, and people, it's a lot more common than you would think. That's why when my ancestors come to me in visions, even on the astral plane, when I leave my body, they don't talk to me. Like, I have a set rule, like, okay, speak to the angel first, and the angel will talk to me. Especially if the ancestor communicates a little bit differently. Now, when you're meditating, and I'm teaching outer clairaudience, because this one's the most helpful. The inner clairaudience, it has the potential to drive people insane sometimes. So does the outer one too, but just a little bit disclaimer, don't try to open the gift if you don't want it open. That's a pretty obvious statement, but the thing is, people want to take spirituality for a game, and sometimes this is how people get their spiritual gifts blasted wide open. When I say blasted, I mean it just opens all at once. And people will flat out take it for a game, they'll abuse it, they'll get power hungry, they'll use it to put down others, and then maybe that was just your test to see if it opens that fast, what would you do? And it closes right back up and it never opens again because you just abused it, and that's the evidence on record of you abusing your gift once it opens. So you'll sit in meditation, ask God to clear everything out but your guardian angel and the other angels. And now, you listen to the sounds of silence, the sounds of the astral realm. And I've seen, like, there's the most quiet room in the world or whatever, where they have, like, certain walls and people, like, plug their ears with a certain... And you can plug your ears as well, but plug your ears. Or you can plug your ears, or just, if you're in a silent room, you want to hear... It has to be so silent to the point where you don't even hear air condition, you don't hear anything. And you listen to the emptiness. The emptiness, the sounds of silence. Just listen. Listen to the silence. Get used to listening to the silence. What does it sound like? You hear whistles, everyone's going to hear something different. Do you hear water sounds? Do you hear pitches? Do you hear frequencies? And once you start studying frequencies, you're actually hearing a frequency already. So you're hearing, because and I highly suggest you guys do some frequency research after this, so you'll just listen to the frequencies, and you'll actually find out that you're hearing your angels. Some of you have already been hearing your angels, but you don't even know what it was. Like, your angels are literally talking, and and you're hearing these frequencies, and they're taking, like, pauses and gaps. It's because you're hearing your angels talk. So different people are at different progressions. It'll be quicker for some people versus other people, but like I said, this can only be used for working with angels, and yeah, you're not going to be able to... And if you want to become a reader as a result of this, it's not going to happen. If you think you're going to talk to angels and you're going to make your angels read anyone, it's not going to happen. You can do that with demons, but not with angels. The angels will not spill the gossip on everyone. They're not monitor spirits. They're not monitor demons. They're not going to be so gossipy, like, this person picks their nose when they're in the kitchen. Like, that's a monitor spirit, or that's a demon. I made a video about that yesterday. And yeah, certain demons, it depends on who the demon is or who the lower level spirit is. It doesn't really matter because they don't really matter anyway. If they mattered, they wouldn't be angels, ex-angels, or monitor spirits. Like, same thing with people in life. Some people are monitor spirits in life, or something that resembles a demon. How are they doing in life? Would you want to be in their shoes? No. Versus an angel, they have all the power and the glory that God gives them to be able to help humanity, and they're absolutely wonderful. So, like I said, when you hear your angels, you're going to hear them talk. It might not be consistent, but it's a start. For example, you'll be able to make out words. Sometimes, and like I said, make sure you're ready for this, because for the people who actually do open it, because sometimes some people will take 6 months, some people will take 3 months, some people will take a year, some people will take 3 years, some people will take 7 years, but the thing is, it's going to open regardless if you trust in the Lord, because He is responsible for your gifts. It's going to open. Just sometimes it's a test to see how consistent you are, because humans are not that consistent. They'll do it for a week and be like, oh, this didn't work. Yeah, because you did it for a week. When you pay attention, when you meditate, you're paying attention. That's energetic currency. I've made videos about this before. So you'll pay attention to your guides. Pay attention to the sounds. Pay attention to... Because this is outer clairaudience. This is... You're actually hearing their voices in your eardrums. Occasionally you'll get a whisper, and you'll hear a word, so you'll hear a phrase, you'll hear something, and don't let it freak you out, because if you get too freaked out, they're not going to do it again. Some of you will be able to hear your angels more consistently, but this is more just of a I'm not going to make any promises because God is responsible for your gifts. Your gifts are not opening but on your term. I'm telling you that right now. Your gifts are never going to open on your terms. If they do, and you try to bypass God, it was through the enemy, and now you're the gift to the enemy because you probably, if you volunteered to sell yourself, which is the dumbest thing you can do, now your gifts are not even your gifts because you're property to the enemy. It's a relatively simple video. Just listen to the sounds of silence, and it's gonna be different for everyone. You're gonna start hearing voices of your angels, and they sound like voices. They sound like weird, awkward voices at first. At first they sound like scribbles, and then they develop into actual voices. On some days or some weeks, on some months, they'll be a lot more clear. The next month, it might not be that much. It might not be that clear. Don't get sad or discouraged. Like even for myself, like being able to hear my guardian angel is not always 100% of the time fully clear on certain days. Like certain days, if I'm feeling tired, or if I'm feeling like if I did too much in the day, or if I didn't sleep early enough in the night and I'm kind of pooped that day, to hear my other angels and my guardian angel is kind of like, and I'll get like a little bit like, woo. So make sure you're caught up on sleep. Make sure you're doing your cleanses and stuff like that. Sometimes when your angels are not talking to you, sometimes they just don't have anything to say. You'll never make an angel talk, by the way. Sometimes your angels will just be quiet. I don't really consider this an extreme. I mean, it's a cool gift, but at this point, when it comes to spiritual gifts being open, it's not about them being super mystical. It's just kind of like your day-to-day life. It's kind of like you hearing your guardian angels out loud. It's kind of like hearing a friend when they talk. And it's nothing out of the blue to you. It's just normal. That's how it'll get when you open your gifts. It's like, oh, yeah, well, this angel said this, and this angel agreed. Okay. That's it. Don't try to make it magical and mystical and like, oh, my guardian angel's going to tell me the future and the past and the present. Your guardian angel is not there to interfere. Your guardian angel is there to help you, and I actually thought about making this video for a while, but I finally made this video. The knowledge in this video can't be abused. Thank God. Literally thank God, because I'm teaching you the angelic path. If you ever think you can try to abuse, because this knowledge is specific, you won't be able to hear, you will not be able to hear spirits or demons using this method. You can only hear angels regarding this method. Only angels. You will only be able to, only because spirits whisper differently. They are on a lower frequency. So these pitches are of a higher frequency. When you study pitches, hopefully after this video, you'll learn that these are a higher, like a dog whistle sound. Like maybe some of you are already hearing them. Some symptoms of your clairaudience opening is like if your ears get a little bit sensitive and you're like, ah! It's like, what is going on? Like, ow, 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 ow. It's like, ow, 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 ow. That basically means it's opening. It's kind of like it's a muscle that you've exercised at the gym and like you're sore the next day. You're like, ow, what did I do? I did arms today. Oh, my arms are killing me. Same thing. But I'm very excited to teach this method. Especially because it's not going to get abused, because it can't be abused. None of you are going around God. You have to talk to God. You have to put your intention into, hey, you would like this gift opened. I'll speak more about maybe tomorrow about how to open your clairvoyance. Clairvoyance has to be the easiest one to open. Clairaudience, it just takes patience. And remove the expectation of you're going to hear something crazy like, oh, I mean, your angels will play music for you sometimes, which is kind of cool. Like, you'll just hear like church bells or church music, or you'll hear like just, what's it called? Bells? Whistles? For some of the angels, such as Gabriel, Gabriel can be super loud. Like, it's just the nature of certain angels. Your angel might be loud. Some angels are a lot more quiet. Some angels are chatty. Some angels are such on a high frequency that you fully can't hear them unless you establish a connection to them. That's more of the archangels. Cool video. At least I made this. I've been thinking about making this video for a very long time, because clairaudience is a lot more easy to open than people think, but it just takes time. It's nothing special. It's like, oh, you do this ritual. You do this ritual. You do this ritual. Oh, you crack this egg open on a stove and you put cilantro on it. And then you put it before your angels and you shake the salt and the pepper. No, you don't. No, this is nothing fancy. This is just straightforward information about how to open your clairaudience. And if you look online, okay, I'm going to tell you right now, the information online about clairaudience is fluff. It's just flat out fluff. It's like, oh, if you... I'm not even going to say. I'm not going to put the information down on clairaudience online. It's just fluff. It's like, it's cool, but whoever wrote the clairaudient articles are the people who have actually never heard their angels talking. Also, your beliefs will kill clairaudience from opening. So if you believe no one can hear angels because they're so high up, then you're right, because you're not going to hear angels because you thought that they were so high up. They're actually easier to hear than spirits. They're easier to hear than actual lower level entities because they're always so close to you. So it's literally, the angels are so close to the point where you're looking for them and they're literally directly in your face. It's just how it is. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments section. I'm very excited that this video might have generated some clairaudience. If your clairaudience opens right away and you need some help, message me on, DM me privately, message me on Instagram, message the business line, but I actually turned the business line off for a second because some of you were abusing it. Not some of you, there's 10s and 20s, 30 different people sending things they should not have sent on the business line. I'm not going to go into detail, but I don't react to that. If you're one of those people, okay. But feel free to ask your questions in the comments section. If you need any help, I'm always here to help you guys. Until then, I will see you guys next time.